From fabulous Los Angeles, California, Hollywood, home of the stars, the magic factory where dreams come true, culture capital of the world, jewel of the Pacific, it's the Adam Carolla Show.
Yeah, get it on. Got to get it on. No choice but to get it on mandate. Get it on. And welcome to the show. Thank you so much for listening, and thank you for spreading the word. I love the fact that everyone's telling a friend about the show and turning them on to it. That's what keeps the pirate ship afloat. Good day, David Wild.
Good day. If I had a friend, I would tell a friend.
They would say the same thing about you. Allison Rosen?
My coffee mug tastes soapy, and I heard you yesterday saying to someone, careful with the suds, don't get all sudsy.
Yes.
They didn't heed your warning.
Yeah, that was gay slang, and it was coming from the bathroom. And suds is slang for lube, but I still know
is that what it tastes like?
I still know what you're saying.
It's strong.
This thing, well, we had to, all right, now, hey, good day, Bald Brian. Yeah. Hey. We had to switch because there's those commercials where they go, the store-bought brand, and by the way, I don't know, Mount Olympus, like, I don't know where else you go but the store to get the store-bought brand. But anyway, this the store brand. They'll do the store brand, cleans this many dishes with this much. But with Dawn, just a shot glass can clean an entire apartment building's worth of dishes. And you think that's good, except for it's bad because you never get the fucking soap taste out of the mug. It means it will never go away. We either need to we need a restrictor plate on the dishwashing liquid, or someone's going to have to turn up water a little bit. Come on, H2O, let's get going.
Yeah, I like to think that in the Vatican, this is what they're debating right now. These are the issues. They're all quandaries.
I've had this happen. It's sort of that same, it's that same thing you do with your asshole every once in a while. Somewhere around the 15th wipe where there's still a little color on it, and you just go, well, walk away. Like, you know what? Look.
No one to fold.
First off, it's not like I'm going to go to the warehouse and Gary's going to eat my asshole out.
It's Saturday.
There's a good chance I'm going to get in my car. I'm going to fart. I'm going to be in my underpants. It's not like Gary's, I'm going to walk in and Lynch is going to be like, hey, your asshole smells a little off, boss. Like, I'm not going to get into a serious 69 session between the bathroom and the warehouse when I come here to futz around on the cars. So at a certain point, just good enough. I'll take a shower, I'll work out, I'll do something.
It's more about the effort than the result at that point.
And there's I have the same thing with the coffee mug. You're rinsing it. It's foamy. It's foamy. It's foamy. And then at a certain point you go, fuck it. I'm just drinking a little foam. And then you can't tell if it's the water that's foaming or the foam that's foaming. But we had to go to a new detergent because our detergent was too detergent-y.
Yeah, it's working too well, and it's leaving a detergent slick in my mouth.
All right. Let me say this then. Slick mouth. That was my prison name. If y'all would adopt my rinse it and don't repeat, just rinse, we never really have to run into this problem because a little hot water around the mug, swirled in the coffee mug. Hold on. Lipstick. Understood. Lipstick. You have to be in charge of your own lipstick.
But I do that. People would think that I actually use soap and I just use water.
Yeah, you can use it. But for what the problem is, people leave the little spittle at the bottom with the creamer and the coffee, and it has a little halo effect, and it gets dried up and fucked up. And now I don't, at home, whether I'm drinking juice or I'm drinking coffee or whatever it is I'm drinking, I just rinse the mug in hot water and put it back onto the rack. It's clean. When it dries, it's fine. You can be drinking milk or orange juice or coffee. Just rinse it out well.
Sometimes I rinse it out in between sips. If you get to it fast enough, you're fine.
All right, yes, Brent.
Without checking, I have a theory. Double check to make sure what they're using isn't some sort of dishwashing detergent or some sort of other kind of liquid, because that shit sticks, whereas soap rinses right away.
I told them get the non-scented soap. That's all. That's
soap
what we
will
had.
rinse right away.
No, I think it should be soap because I don't think that goes in a dishwasher. But anyway,
it's body wash.
I had a nice bonding moment with my daughter this evening. My wife was out. Lynette was out. I was upstairs skipping my rope. I finished skipping my rope. I started to walk downstairs. I started walking into the kitchen, and as I was turning the corner and sort of walking in the kitchen, the floor was creaking, and you could tell someone was sort of heading toward the kitchen, and my daughter was sitting in the kitchen at the table watching television. As I turned the corner, she sort of heard me, and she went, "Mommy!" And she turned and she went, "Ah." She literally, she started with a "Mommy!" And I mean, it's not like Mom was in Europe for 3 weeks following the boss, although she wishes she was. Mom has been out of the house for an hour. Daddy's been upstairs for an hour. There's the same distance between us, time-wise. You know, she literally did, and she wasn't fucking with me. You can't act like she did it. Mama! And then turn right back. Completely, I mean, deflated.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like a guy who was sure he drained the 3 on a buzzer beater with hands up, and then,
It rimmed out.
Just rimmed out. The humanity. Back to Dora the Explorer. Oh, boy. It was like...
What did you do?
I was like, what the fuck? What is the... I mean, I was laughing about it, but it was like caught, no explaining away.
Yeah, she didn't even try. She didn't even pretend to be like, oh.
No, that's the beauty of kids. It's the mouth of babes. She just went, "Mama," and then turned right back around again. Like, as soon as she saw me in my shorts coming around the corner. All right, some quick things to complain about, and then it's time to do a little music with David Wild. I got songs, baby. Oh, do I have songs? A couple things. Had an interesting moment as I was leaving the Staples Center when we were watching the Lakers play over the weekend. Soon, and you guys help me with this one. As I've said many times, in a land of regulations, there are certain things that go completely unchecked. Walking out of the Staples Center, and this is Sunday, daytime. The game was 12:30. We walked out of there about 3:15, 3:30. Middle of the day, Sunday. On the Staples Center property, and here come all the ghetto dogs in the shopping carts with the propane tanks and the illegals working the. It's bacon wrapped around. I think it's part of a conspiracy plan to kill Whitey. Like they said, listen,
it's working.
You're the first wave. Take these horrible hot dogs, wrap them in the worst bacon you can find, and just keep feeding Whitey until they die off, and then we'll retake the land.
Be sure to offer mayonnaise.
Yeah, mayonnaise on everything. Everything. Extra mayonnaise. So I'm walking out, and I'm like, I don't know. And then I pass another cart, and they got the spatula going, and they're cooking, and nothing smells better than the bacon, the hot dog, the onions, and the peppers. And I'm just walking past them. And if you live in L.A., LA's kind of become Tijuana in terms of the street scene, so you don't pay attention to stuff much anymore. But I thought, these guys are on Staples Center property. They're not in the parking structure down the street. They're right by the door. They're sitting there, and they've set up shop. And I'm just thought, what if I just wanted to sell my mangria? Like, I'm just going to get a folding chair and just set up on the premises of the Staples Center. Like, would that be tolerated? The answer is no. I tried to come up with a fucking label for mangria. They told me buzz off. I got a friend, the Ragin' Cajun, who does the Cajun food. I guess you know that by his name.
Truck, right?
Yeah, you don't do Thai or Greek with a name like the Ragin' Cajun. Otherwise, you're supremely confident.
He defied his parents.
He has to take his trucks to Hawaiian Gardens and drop them off in a holding lot every night when he's done, so that city inspectors can inspect them, except for they never inspect them, but still he must bring them there every night, and I'm sure pay a pretty penny for the opportunity to have his trucks inspected, although they're not inspected because there's not enough inspectors. This is food. This is going in you. I mean, like I said, if I wanted to just set up and sell posters, I'm sure I'd be busted. But this is something you ingest. I mean,
you should leave the country and then enter illegally. In the same
see
way
if
that
I
you
can
put
sell
your
mangria?
Yeah, in the same way you have dealer plates on your car.
Yeah.
Go off the grid.
I swear to fucking God. I mean, the whole thing about this, Los Angeles, you're supposed to pretend like you care. Like, you don't care. We understand you don't care. You never did care. But you, at least in the past, would pretend like you'd care. Like when you'd call 911 or you'd complain about something, or you'd go like, we cannot write tickets for chicken shit tickets to motorists who rolled through a stop sign getting off the freeway in view of the illegals that are engaging in their illegal activity. Like, you have to kind of at least pretend it's off. or on or whatever, but they're selling food. Like that's something you really need a health inspector and a license for, and they're doing it on the premises of Staples Center, and there's no repercussions because they're there every single week. Obviously, it would take one guy to walk by and, offer a little pepper spray with that ghetto dog, but they just
Now, do you actually want it regulated, or is what bothers you the fact that you can't sell Mangria there?
What bothers me is the hypocrisy.
Yeah.
What bothers me is them realizing very quickly who has the wallets, who has the ID, and who has the checkbooks, and going after them whole hog with always an eye on safety. It's always an eye on safety, and it's always a bullshit eye on safety. It's slow it down. No, the whole reason we've doubled the price of speeding tickets in the last 2 years is because of safety. We're looking out for safety. And the rolling through, it's all about safety. It's all about pedestrians. It's all about click-it-or-tick. It's all safety, safety, safety. It's not safety. It's money, because on Forest Lawn Drive, where you're pulling the guy over, there's another guy in a sedan who's pulled over halfway out into traffic buying flowers from an illegal. He's in the road. It's on a blind corner. There's cars going 55 miles an hour around that corner. You just pulled over on the side of the freeway and hung your car halfway in a slow lane and did some transaction. They would want money for that. It's not safety. It's hypocrisy for money. They come after the people with money. The guy who owns the food trucks, he has a checking account. They want his money.
Did you or Bill O'Reilly, I don't want you to bury your lead, did you or Bill O'Reilly buy a ghetto dog?
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Did?
Did I? Oh, when we went?
Yeah.
That was another time.
Oh, you're now a regular.
He's a regular.
What
Yeah.
happened? I thought you'd never been to Staples Center last time I heard you.
I'd never been, and then I get invited twice in 5 days.
Oh, okay. No, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But you guys didn't split any sort of illegal food
No.
from illegals
No.
on the way out.
No.
Because that could be a good headline.
But it was
Another Huffington Post.
I did have
absurd.
fun with O'Reilly where he said, Carolla, what was it like taking heat over there? What was it like sitting courtside with O'Reilly? People seeing you over there in Hollywood. And I said, oh, no, I just told people I was there with my dad. Which got him going, I think. All right. Well, there you go. Hypocrisy at its best. On a happy note, I got a call just yesterday from my old coach, Duke Gallagher, from the East Valley Trojans.
He's still around?
Still around.
That's good news.
Wants to go to dinner with me, his son, who played on the team, Dan, another coach, Bauer Napier.
Duke Gallagher?
Duke Gallagher.
Great name, first of all. Sounds like a white guy.
Yep.
I thought you had a black. This is a high school, or this is Pop Warner?
Pop Warner, I played with the East Valley Trojans for 5 years, and
You never mentioned this, but
that's Duke Gallagher in the background, and that's
Aw.
Coach Bauer in the background.
Wait, which one has the mustache?
Duke has the mustache.
Of course.
Duke always has the mustache.
Of course. I'm
Even
sorry, it's an amateur question.
Yeah, there's the old picture. You can go to AdamCarolla.com and check it out. There's Duke Gallagher back there and Coach Bauer. Now,
You look a little like a slightly less feminine Christy McNichol in that shot.
Thank you.
You know who doesn't know who Kristen McNichol is? Any of the young people in the other room.
That's
So sad.
They sicken me.
Where are their
Yeah.
They
priorities?
sicken me.
That's right.
They sicken me.
They don't have a sense of family then.
Yeah,
The show,
and
family.
Get on the mic, David.
So then I went to the Sun Valley Falcons. It was here where I was hanging out with the Black Boyd brothers. Those were the brothers on the team, Henry and James Boyd. I think we'll show you a picture of that. Those were the guys who lived in like Watts, and I used to go spend the night. My mom would drop me off for the weekend. It was kind of right in the middle of Roots, so I think she's like, "You need to find some culture, man." And she
Kunta
dropped me out.
Carolla at that point?
Kunta Carolla, yeah. She dropped me off for a good long weekend with Henry and James Boyd. All right, so we're all going to get
I'm
together.
doing a tribute to Quincy Jones. Maybe you could tell that sweet story about you going to Watts. That might be a perfect.
Oh yeah, there's a good one there. That's me and Henry from I don't know, season before or something like that. All right. I really am. I called Duke Gallagher some years ago, just tell him what a huge impact he had in my life, and everyone should do this. And these guys who he's a hero. He is a hero. He helped me. I really needed them. Like, I really needed that structure and that discipline and then the camaraderie and the teamwork and all that kind of stuff. And these guys just gave, practice and practice. I mean, they're there every night. Like, they never got paid a penny. They didn't get any trophies at the end of the year, and he's just an awesome guy. So I was happy that it was like one of these things where later on in life I thought I should call him and thank him, and then there's that part where you go, he heard enough or whatever, and then don't do that.
No one
Call
ever
him and
heard
thank
enough,
him,
yeah.
and hopefully you get him while they're still picking up the other line. And I just thanked him and just said, hey, man, you made a huge impact in my life, and I don't know if I'd be where I am today without you, and thank you. And he was like, he does what all good guys do. That was nothing. Like, that was his whole thing. But anyway, we're all going to go out to dinner.
Now,
and
if
look
there's
forward to
people
that.
from your past teachers who you feel messed you up, should you let them know? Like, I just want to let you know, I'll never forget when you made me decide I hate math.
Well, if you, I've been doing that quite a bit throughout my career, and if anyone digs up an old me on Letterman, like I told you, I am yelling at Mr. Gregory for failing me in driver's ed, and I'm yelling at my old boss, and yeah, I've told my old teachers to kiss my ass all the time, because yes, they are as bad. I mean, as good an influence as Duke
That's almost
Gallagher
why
is.
the good influences are so important, because
Right.
so many of them kind of just crush your little spirit.
Yeah, I came pre-crushed.
Yeah, they didn't have to do a lot of stomping.
We never added water. But my parents crushed my spirit very early and often, but so I was already kind of down, but it was good to excel at something. I needed something to be good at. All right. Let's see. David Wild, you got a song. I was sitting in a restaurant the other day, and, I never stopped complaining about how much I hate the Guess Who's American Woman.
Oh, yeah.
And the reason I can't stand it is because it doesn't end, gonna leave you, oh, bye-bye. And it's a shit song, but it won't end. And there's nothing, it sucked at 3 minutes and 32 seconds, but it's horrific at 7 minutes now because it just won't fucking end. And there's nothing good about the end. We're now off the song, and we're on to just this guy threatening to leave, which I don't think he's ever going to do.
We wish he would leave.
I wish he'd fucking leave.
The song would end.
So I'm just sitting in this restaurant yesterday, and I'm under the speaker, and they have it on the classic rock station, and the song comes on, and I realize not only does American Woman have an ending that feels like somebody is just feeding piano wire up your urethra endlessly.
In a bad way.
Oh, yeah, sorry. In a bad way. But it has a preamble, too. It has a beginning that has nothing to do with the song either.
In fact, Aretha Franklin should cover American Woman. That would be good.
Yeah.
I never actually knew this was part of the song because the radio only plays the rock and roll part.
Yeah,
and I was like, oh my god, the song never starts. It never ends and it never starts.
It's such a piece of shit. And these guys are such colossal jack-offs for ever thinking this was good. And it just shows how incredibly high everyone was.
And we played it. We Americans took this from Canada.
Yeah.
American woman, she gonna mess your mind.
Now,
American woman, gonna mess your mind.
if anyone is curious how American Woman is spelled, sit down, grab a pen. Song's not started yet. You understand?
Plus, think about how many American women, lovely American young women, were blowing the Guess Who at this point.
Right.
What thanks did they get for their services rendered on their knees, backstage, in amphitheaters and arenas? This is what they got.
The ones that got crabs from the tour bus. Oh, it's so sad. Who writes a song where they go, we need a song that's not attached to the song before the song, and then once we get into the song, it can never end?
Guys, the song's good, but what about the pre-song?
What?
Pre-song. Pre-songs would be better.
Wait till you get to
song
the
warmer.
after song.
Oh,
it's like the after party. It's the ultimate.
Yeah, so I forgot, it's a shit bookend. American Woman.
It's designed to make the middle of a song seem good.
But this is a good part, and it goes for about 10 seconds, and now we're done. Yeah.
Yeah.
We peaked.
Right. All right, so now you can jump to the end if you like. But yeah, it's a shit opening to a movie with a shit ending to a movie with a good 10 seconds in Act 2.
Right.
Basically, it's just, there he is.
My only regret is that the movie Drive, did not feature American Woman. That way, put it all together.
Awesome.
That would be all your favorites.
No one has ever threatened to leave for a longer period of time.
I wish when you played the Burton Cummings Dinner Theater, and this is Burton Cummings,
Yes.
leading the Guess Who, I wish you just wrote, "Thanks for booking me. Fuck you for American Woman."
That's right.
Adam
for all of
Carolla.
America.
Yeah.
This is the musical equivalent of like you saying 1, 2, 3 to your kids. 1,
Yeah.
2,
Yeah.
2.5.
No, this is really like you leaving Disneyland. Like where your kid goes, "I'm going to do the teacups one more time." You're going, "Okay, well, then we're just going to go get in the station wagon. We'll just leave little Sonny with the teacups, and maybe the nice people from the small world can raise you." I hope it's not one of those pirates that raises you. Come on, we're going to the car. Here we go. Here's Daddy turning around. Gonna leave you, Sonny. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. You're no good for me. I'm no good for you. I'm gonna march my ass to the minivan. I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna go. And you know where we're going? In-N-Out Burger, American son.
Yeah, Dad, you said that 4 or 5 times.
I'm going to leave. I'm going to go.
I got it.
I'm goodbye.
Yeah. You're not going anywhere.
You're no good for me, and I'm no good for you. And I'm going to look you right in that wind-up beanie and tell you what I'm going to do. Can you guess what I'm going to do?
Let me guess. Does it involve leaving?
I'm going to leave. That's right. You're clairvoyant.
It's like
I should have named you Yuri Geller because I'm going to go.
Time to reference, Pops.
I'm going to Yuri Goer. Okay, you're gonna stay here, and I'm gonna goer. Yuri goer.
What else you got?
Yeah.
For one of your Adam Carolla anniversary shows, you got to get the Guess Who and Lenny Kravitz to do sort of a mashup and just keep it going longer.
That'd be so frickin' awesome. That would be awesome. All right, other songs. Should we play a song I'm happy about or a song I'm unhappy about? Happy?
Palate cleanser.
Happy.
Yeah, unhappy. Let's do a palate cleanser. I want to hear, and I'm taking credit for this, even though Mike Lynch wrote this one, the rape shower. Was this Clint Holmes? This is Clint Holmes.
Clint Holmes, yes.
Yeah, this song was number one.
Playground in My Mind?
No, his other huge hit.
Oh, this is. We just set this up though, right?
Yeah. What?
You want Jack to help explain?
Yeah. Jack Silver came in after the show,
as I always do,
and told he has some stellar ideas.
The troops needed some rallying.
Remember, he'd do the one, Jack, where you suggest he had a really great idea for the show where I give the timeout.
Well, first of all, I have a lot of good ideas, but that was one of them. Yes.
Right. Yeah. We'll do a reenactment with you give out the time. This, by the way, this is the architect of the morning show. By the way, I've complained about the time in morning shows 2,000 times, pardon the pun, but he then came in one day and said, "What up, peeps? Teresa, looking good with those boobs."
And then, Ace Man, got an idea. It's just spitballing here.
Yeah.
How about we give out the time every half an hour, top and bottom, top and bottom of the hour.
We're in different time zones, so it's not going to work.
God damn it.
That was the
He
end
was
of
so
that
committed.
That was the end of that conversation. He didn't think the show was syndicated in different time zones. Part of
Surprised
giving
he gave
up time.
up so easily.
He was done. By the way, that was his idea for the year, so he's done with that. That and the wing ball. But he came
back to the corner office.
He came in and he what did he say to Teresa?
No, he didn't say anything to Teresa. She was with an earshot, but he wanted.
Mike knows.
His idea for the show.
More
was
cooch.
He was saying we
cooch.
needed more hot cooch talk. That's the quote. Hot cooch talk.
Oh, that was it.
Yeah.
It's like poetry.
Yeah. So he wanted more hot cooch talk.
What does that mean? Discussions of hot cooch.
Don't be so
more
naive,
hot
Allison.
cooch talking, more like, oh, I've got some itches in my hot cooch.
FM radios are like, you don't get it. This chick's been on the cover of Lowrider magazine 4 times, all right? So she's going to be an awesome guest. And you're like,
it's radio.
People are sitting in their car listening on a radio.
Yeah.
They're not checking out her beautiful ass. Like, it's so fucked up. Anyway.
I thought that's why you had me in, for the hot cooch talk.
All right, here.
Also to be the eye candy for the video podcast.
So when he left.
I'm not just your eye candy.
When he left, yeah, well, you're
He's our hot cooch.
Yeah, your trophy guest. What happened is when he left, then Teresa Strasser did one of those things, that women do when they're completely creeped out by a guy. And then she said she had to take a rape shower or something. And then for some reason that Clint Holmes song kicked into my head. I kind of like the actual Clint Holmes song. I hate to say it. I'm not proud of it.
I saw him live. There's nothing like a Clint Holmes concert.
When this whole world gets me down,
Oh wait, this is the song.
and there's no love.
Sorry.
to be
I wanted.
found.
Sorry.
I close my
Yeah, we were good.
I find
We'll play the rape show. Sorry. That's in my mind.
when Jack Silver gets me down, and he throws the word cooch around. I close my eyes and soon I find I'm in a rape shower in my mind, where I can scrub and scrub and scrub all day, but still his words won't go away. My name's Teresa, I just got ear-raped, I just got ear-raped by my boss Jack. I'm gonna get me all sorts of therapy after his cooch attack.
Is that an actual child?
I don't know.
Leaving Jackson.
That was Tiffany, a little Asian girl who worked at the Wave and the station next to us, the jazz station. And that was her actual voice.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Did Mike write this?
Yeah.
The lyrics?
Oh
Great
yeah.
stuff.
Yeah. I think the real genius was Clint Holmes.
Very Hal David-like.
Also, I don't know why, but speaking of music the other day, we're just thinking about any songs that involve James Dean or horrible songs where they name James Dean. And I thought, of course, there's the Eagles' James Dean, which it's just a nothing song. I don't know what, it sounds like the opening of a Saturday morning cartoon from the 70s. And it doesn't mean anything. It's like you needed something to put on your record. I don't know if they're huge James Dean fans. I don't know who is. I don't know a person whose name has been mentioned more in humanity that we really care less about.
I think he died
I
young.
think we care
Maybe
more about
symbolic.
Paula Dean.
Hold on. That was a good joke. Say it again. No,
Me?
no, not you. You don't do a good joke.
Oh, me.
Yeah.
I said I think we care more about Paula Dean.
Thank you. That's right. So this is just a little nothing by this. I fucking hate the Eagles. God, do I hate that band. But all right. Anyway, now
If you hate them, there's a 6-hour Showtime special you might want to see.
is
about
there? Does it involve fiery plane crash?
them. No, it involves their
No.
careers.
No. Okay.
Some
I don't.
The
I don't.
fucking Eagles, man.
I don't need that. Nobody needs that. But then I realized there's a worse song that has James Dean in it.
Rock On? I love Rock On. I'm going to go against you.
Oh, no way.
I know-
David Essex?
I have
This
the
is one
David-
of the worst. This isn't one of the worst songs ever created. This is one of the worst things ever created.
I was bringing him in next week. I love
Are
the
you
David
shitting
no,
me?
I wasn't bringing him in, but I do love the David
Oh,
Essex.
play it.
And the Michael Damian cover version as well.
Oh, no. It's like it's like not doing a song. It's a non-song. And again, I don't know how fucking coked up we were in 1973, but this reached number 5 on the Billboard Hot Charts. Such a piece of shit. You were so high when you heard this. There's no way you like this song.
I had invited him to lunch at Rolling Stone. You know, he's a
So you
big
could
actor.
stab him?
No, I like it. I can't tell you. We can't agree on everything.
I know we cannot ever again. This isn't a song, though. This is a guy talking into a reverberating mic or something. All right, here it comes. Wait. This is the whole song.
Prettiest girl I ever seen.
What are you supposed to? I don't. What are you supposed to do to this song? Wait.
Close your eyes. Close your eyes and nod slowly.
I was like 9 listening to this song, going, "What a piece of shit this is." You like this song?
I like it right now.
All right.
I'm so enjoying this.
All right. That's enough. All right. At least it's weird.
Listen to those pan flutes.
I'll give it. I'll give it that. All right. Let's see.
I love your idea that he would kill him at lunch.
Yeah. Invite him over.
Stab him.
Bring him over. Well, I don't want to kill him. I just don't want him to ever sing again. Well, that's not singing, but make noise.
Around that same time, I invited Pete Best, the original Beatles drummer, to lunch at Rolling Stone and got him a cake, a birthday cake. Someone said, it's his birthday, so I bought him a cake. And Jan Wenner came in and said, why the fuck is there a cake? You know, I said, because he got dropped from the Beatles.
Mm-hmm.
I think we can buy him a fucking Entenmann's cake.
Right.
So I bought him an Entenmann's cake.
Is Jan Winter, was he scared he was going to grow an ounce? Like, is he the skinniest man? Or is it just his face? Or like, what?
Jan?
Yeah.
He's just a good-looking man named Jan.
Is that what it is?
Just a handsome dude. See Perfect, his movie Perfect, you know, where if you want to...
If I want to find out?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to try and do that. David Wild is here. Let's go ahead and help him out in the Twitter department, everyone. Who you nipping at the heels of Rick Springfield?
I'm losing to Rick Springfield, and Rick Springfield, you know, is in this new Dave Grohl movie, Sound City, that everyone should see. It's great.
Mm-hmm.
I think unless you do, you have to do an intervention to really get me past Rick Springfield. I don't know what's going to happen.
All right, well, we'll encourage...
At Wild About Music, I think
yes,
it is.
we'll encourage all our listeners to tweet you. Yes,
As
Brent.
a tribute to both David and the soon-to-be departing Mike Lynch, you want to play David's song?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, we're sitting here with David Wild. Not much taller than a 10-year-old child.
In certain countries.
Not the best looking guy in the place. Gallagher's hair, DeVito's face.
Peter Gallagher.
Makes his pages for the Rolling Stone.
Fair.
A brilliant writer, the evidence shows.
Harsh but true.
Writing books is also part of his game.
Yep.
If you hear a loud thud, he's just dropping names.
I would never do that.
Yeah, we're sitting here with David Wild.
Credit where credit's due. That's all Rich Banks. I didn't have anything to do with that one.
Rich Banks.
Was it something I did? Is that why Mike is going away? This is just a flashback to my childhood.
It's something you've done. David Wild, everyone. Again, you can Wild About Music is where you can find him. You can give him a little tweet-y-daisy there. Dan Dobi's here. Dan is he has done himself a really wonderful documentary about all the YouTubers out there called Please Subscribe. We'll take a quick break. We'll be back, and we'll dip in the world of YouTube with Dan Dobi next.
Let's check Adam's voicemail, brought to you by eVoice.
Hi, this is Dan in New Jersey. Ace, this has to do with a discrepancy between IMDb and Wikipedia. Real important stuff here. Anyway, were you born in Philadelphia or were you born in Los Angeles? Can you clear this up?
Click the eVoice banner on AdamCarolla.com or go to www.evoice.com/Adam to get an exclusive 6-month free trial offer. eVoice, your mobile phone at work.
I was born in Westwood, California, in a doctor's office. Just in the office, like not in a hospital, but in an office.
Rich man, poor man.
And then went back to Philly. But I do have some of those like hoagie places, like famous Philadelphians. I'm up on the wall. Wow. Turns out people that eat hoagies aren't that smart and aren't investigative journalists, so they just kind of, you see Danny Bonaducci's name back there, you don't go, wait a minute, let me behind that counter.
We'll freeze you to spit out the hoagie.
Yeah.
I gotta get to the bottom of this. Wait, why were you just born in a doctor's office?
I think my sister was born like at home. My parents are, I don't know. My mom, I don't know. I don't know. We just came out,
Okay.
That's how it works. And but my family went back and forth from Philly. My dad was in Philly and all that kind of stuff. So I'm sort of mistaken for Philly. But and for a while I didn't know where I was born, so it took a while because I was so young at the time. Dan Dobi, good to see you.
Thanks for having me on.
Congratulations on Please Subscribe. It's a documentary about YouTubers, and it's interesting and touching at times as well. Dan just goes to all the folks that are making YouTube, what YouTube is, and not the crazy Gangnam Style stuff, but more the people that are doing the content that they're putting out daily and weekly and making their living off this stuff. And they're all interesting characters and subjects.
Yeah, I think the cast that I chose, this is more, it's not like the Gangnam Style. It's not like, these are the people that do it kind of full time and they're living off of it. It's not like a viral sensation. And the people that are in this, they're all people that just do it 24/7 around the clock, and it's kind of like their life.
Like, who are some of them? Are they people who have come in here before?
Yeah, there are. They're
the Shaytards.
The Shaytards.
Yeah, they're in it as well.
Right.
Hannah Hart, Mystery Guitar Man, Mitchell Davis, Dan Brown, Wheezy Waiter. The list goes on. So there's about 8 of them, and another one who's actually one of my really close friends who owns a place in Florida that's kind of like a T-shirt design company, and him and his company kind of have monopolized that game as far as like selling merch for YouTubers.
But it's also one of these things where it just would seem it's everybody's or it's many people's fantasies growing up. Like, what if I could just create my own content and push it out there? Because as a young comedian who myself felt like I was falling sort of between the comedy cracks, like I was not a stand-up. I did not want to do just straight stand-up. It felt weird to me. I did sketch improv stuff, but I was not, I was not Jim Carrey. I couldn't do all the rubber face stuff and all that stuff. And I liked comedy a lot. And if they would have had something like this, I would have been one of these people who was doing this 20 years ago. But there was no place to go. Like, you're not sitcom material. You're not stand-up material. I couldn't write well enough to be a writer. I couldn't spell well enough in my mind. There was no spell check computers or what have you. You had to be able to type on a typewriter. And so it was like there was nowhere to go. And now there's a lot of places to go, but now maybe too much opportunity because it's crazy competition, right? I mean, how do you get your hook into society?
You get there. Well, as far as YouTube goes, becoming a YouTuber, I think a lot of it is getting there early or having some kind of big smash hit that you can capture everyone's kind of attention right off the bat and just be like, good, I'm going to build off of this. Like Hannah Hart, who does a show called My Drunk Kitchen. Her intention was not to make a show out of it. She just made a video for a friend. And then it got like a couple million views, and then she was asked to do a follow-up one, and it just went from there. So like, she started doing that a year and a half ago, and right now she's doing that full time.
How does YouTube pay these people?
It's all about advertising. It's about product placement. It's a lot of T-shirt. Well, Google doesn't pay you with T-shirt money and stuff, but we'll just take a regular YouTuber. The hits they get on advertising, whether it's an in-stream ad or before like the 30-second ad or a skippable ad, that's all dependent on how much Google pays them. Mm-hmm. As far as they make the rest of their money, merchandise, selling stuff, little trinkets here and there, and I'm sorry.
I was just going to ask about as far as you and your business plan too. By the way, the movie, Please Subscribe. It's going to have worldwide digital sales release, I should say, on March 23rd. Pre-orders at chill.com/please subscribe. So you shot this. How many days did it take? What was the budget? How'd you do it?
I did a Kickstarter. And asked for $9,500, very, very, very modest amount.
Wow, you have super low self-esteem.
Yeah, pretty much.
I like that.
And I raised about $12,000. That got eaten up on week one. I just thought I was going to go out and do it myself, and essentially I did. I did everything myself for the most part. I shot it. I did the audio. When I had 2 cameras, I would just plop it on a tripod and just let it roll.
It's so weird with documentaries. It's so much about the subject and the subjects and the subject matter that the production doesn't. I would have never guessed it was a $10,000 or whatever it costs, but it's kind of almost neither here nor there. As long as I can see the person and they're interesting subjects and they're telling the interesting stories, I'm fine with it.
Yeah, and another thing is that like when you're a lot of these people, a lot of these YouTubers, like they have a quiet life. They work by themselves. They live by themselves. You know, they have a camera. They shoot themselves. They edit it, and 10 hours a day. 10 hours out of the day, they're by themselves.
Right.
So when I started doing this, I first brought a little bit of a crew, and I noticed that the person I was shooting, they didn't like that. It was like really like, oh, am I all right with the camera? What's going on? And I was like, you know what, let me just do it by myself. So I did all the audio, I did everything, pretty much, 2 cameras by myself. And the next time I went to shoot them, it was a lot more intimate, and they let themselves. They let all their secrets and all their like real life stuff kind of.
It's funny because these are people who spend time in front of the camera, so you would almost expect they'd be comfortable in that setting, but then you think, well, they're controlling it themselves.
Yeah, I think that's exactly it. And they're not. I mean, they're used to just their camera. I mean, yes, they're on camera, but they're on their camera on their time, and that's
How many YouTube shows are on? Do you know? I mean, forget about successful ones, just on.
Oh, I have no idea. There's. 500,000 maybe.
So
there's a lot. I mean, there's
I feel like
kids
more
doing.
than that,
There's
probably.
yeah, probably more than that. I haven't even thought about that, but there's kids right now who are making shows right now who are watching. I don't know how many people are watching. Yeah,
We are literally on one right now.
Yes.
There you
At
go.
this moment, we are doing
Dan,
that.
are you Canadian?
No.
Because you're funny. You sound like Tom Green.
Oh, okay.
I don't mean that in a bad way.
No.
A little bit, but not really.
Yep.
You got
American.
He's got some Tom. He's got a little Tom Green.
A little bit.
I'll take that as a compliment.
No,
All
no.
right.
Take it as a take
Where
it
are
the
you
spirit in
from?
which it's.
I'm from Fairfield, Connecticut.
Aha!
Boom.
It's got
almost
the little,
Canada,
yeah.
Almost Canada.
Almost Canada.
That's going to be the name of your first fragrance.
Ooh, almost Canada.
Yeah, with
I
the
like that.
waterfalls in the
And
back.
there's like a moose-
falls in the
a
back,
moose walking through.
A moose going over the falls.
Maple leaves falling
Yeah.
to the ground.
Can I put my wedding on Kickstarter and make a documentary out of it?
I'll tell you, I'm getting ready to make a movie, and I'm getting ready to do some Kickstarter stuff, and I just think it's the coolest thing ever. Just, you know, here's all you can ask for as a viewer. You want, whether the person is opening a restaurant or doing a documentary or doing a comedy, you just want their version of whatever it is they were trying to make in their kitchen. And it's going to be good or it's going to suck or it'll be somewhere in between. But either way, that will be what they wanted to serve in their restaurant. And when you get involved with the studios and producers and everyone else, especially people who got checkbooks out, they then come into the kitchen and they start fucking with your meatloaf. Literally.
Mm-hmm.
They will put their dick in your meatloaf.
Yep.
Literally
Even if you're not
mount,
making meatloaf.
They would literally mount your meatloaf
Yeah, that's
and
right.
fuck it. So it has a creamy center. So you know that this
It happened
documentary...
to friends of ours.
Hand of God. Hand of God.
Yeah.
Hand of God. True story. So people scream at you.
We wish we were lying.
I wish I was lying. I wish I was. I wish she was. I wish she wished she
was, and I wish I were.
wish she wished she wasn't lying, but she wasn't. I mean, she is. I mean,
That's
she's
right,
not.
exactly. Ditto.
Hand of God. I wish I didn't have my hand in God's face right now, but he's backing me into the lane, and I think he's going to turn. All right.
Stop talking for a
All
while?
we want to see is what you wanted us to see. And sometimes it's good and sometimes it sucks, but at least that'll be what it is.
Yeah.
And that's what's nice about Kickstarter and some of these other things. You just don't have the system, which usually fucks up whatever your initial kernel of an idea was. So the movie that Dan wanted you to see is the movie that you're going to see on the 23rd.
Yeah. I was speaking about Kickstarter. I was offered $50,000 to shoot it from a company, and after having 2 meetings rescheduled, I just said no thanks. And they're like, well, no, we really want to do it with you. And I'm like, no thanks. They're like, well, what do you do it for 100? I'm like, no thanks. And I just
wow.
didn't want to do it anymore. And even though I made peanuts with the Kickstarter, it still helped kind of just let me do it my way.
Right.
And at the end of the day, when we're talking, we were talking to a foreign distributor earlier, and they're like, "Oh, well, who's the EP and who needs to get paid back and how much?" And I'm like, "Just me." And they're like, "No, I know you directed it and you
Right.
cut it and did it, but like, who needs to be paid back?" I'm like, "Me."
Right.
You know, that's it.
That's
So yeah, and one of the things about going with chill.com, as far as, I mean, I think this story is kind of interesting because I raised the money in Kickstarter, I shot it myself, and now we're doing essentially self-distribution through
Yeah.
Chill, and that's what we love about going with them.
Yeah. It's good until you get into the bedroom with your lady, and it's like, I got this. She's like, you want a blowjob? I beat. I produce semen. I become erect. I do it alone. All right, I'm a lone wolf. All right, so go wait in the hall. We can fuck. Yeah, we could fuck, or I could go it alone. And I keep all the dick for myself. Okay? Thank you, sweetie. Don't let the door hit you on the way out. Thank you.
So you're saying you can't turn it off?
He
You'd
just
like
can't.
to.
And
He
you can't
turn
collect
it off.
on the back end.
He can't turn it off. When he plays ultimate frisbee, he's like, I'll throw it to myself. And the guys, well, we're on the team too. I'll throw the frisbee to myself. I am thrower, I am catcher, and then I will stop, I will pivot, I will fake myself out, and then I'll throw it again to myself.
I'll never
That's
see
the way
it
I roll.
coming.
Mm-hmm. Later, I'm going to play Parcheesi against myself. Sorry.
I did that ultimate frisbee thing before, actually, which is funny.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. I used to be a sprinter back in the day, high school.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm still known for being like the fastest dude on two legs. And I remember playing frisbee off Ocean Park in Santa Monica about half a year ago. I threw it and I just said, you know what, fuck it, I'm just going to run. And I ran and I caught it in the end zone. And they're like, didn't you throw it? I'm like, yep.
You threw it to yourself and
He's
right
that
to the guy.
guy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It wasn't like a windy day and it stood up for a while. So it's not like it was like I threw it and I'm like,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, Speedy
Still
Gonzalez.
pretty
but, like,
good.
Yeah, it was.
What'd you
pretty
do?
fun.
Did you do the 100? Did you?
I did the 100 and the 4x1.
What was your? Was
you
it
know what?
100 yards, 100 meters, 100? What
100,
were you?
100 meters, but I don't remember any of my times.
Oh, that means they were shitty. Come
They
on
weren't.
now.
I didn't qualify for anything, but I was pretty good.
Yeah.
I guess.
Well, for a white boy. Yeah.
Yeah. From
All right, Dan, you want to hang out and do enjoy your mangria? By the
it's
way,
delicious. I love it.
I do too.
Mm.
Some say too much. We'll do a little news. You'll crack wise and all that. First off, Irvine Improv today. Blake and Adam from Workaholics. Good guys. They'll be coming by. Me and Dennis Prager at CSUN on March 16th. Still some tickets available for that. And Mangria, buymangria.com. New pricing and cheaper shipping, everybody. So keep the pirate ship afloat in a sea of Mangria. All right, so Dan, drink your Mangria, hang out, and crack wise. Throw a couple Frisbees to yourself, and we'll do some news with Allison Rosen.
The news with Allison Rosen.
She'll read some news from her iPad. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. It's Allison, Allison. And when it's time to wrap it up, she'll sign it off with zip it cunt. It's Allison, Allison.
The conclave to select a new pope has officially started. 2/3 of the 115 cardinals have to vote in a pope.
That's
So-
like 40 cardinals.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
And so black smoke billowed from the ceiling, indicating that they did not have a new pope yet. And when they find one, white smoke will billow.
Uh-huh.
But I find the whole thing funny.
But what if they give it to the one black guy? They should do the
Do you
black
think it's
smoke.
racist?
Yeah,
Well,
the
the-
white smoke's pretty racist.
Yeah.
Yeah. I saw the popes getting into the Pope, not mobile, but the Pope bus. And I thought, I wonder if that thing has like bulletproof plexiglass and is bomb-proof and
I bet.
Kevlar and everything.
I don't know. Does anyone want to take out a pope?
Well, the cardinals that were in the Pope bus or whatever, the cardinal bus, I feel like if you're some weirdo atheist or just terrorist, here's your chance. There's rarely
Yeah.
a bus
Right.
that has, I mean, I've been on buses before that had like 11 cardinals on it, just metro stuff.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
going like Staples Center or something like that.
Standard.
And I've been on like, the TMZ bus and stuff like that, and there've been like 9 cardinals on it,
Right,
but there's
but you
never been
never
like
know.
40
It's
cardinals.
never chock-a-block with cardinals.
No, it's only half full with cardinals, and the rest would be like
Or
tourists.
half empty.
Oh, yeah, half
depending.
empty. Yeah, right. Depending on what the
If you're
cardinal is.
Episcopalian or yeah.
Yeah, and then there'll be like cleaning women and stuff like that. But this is nothing but cardinals. You
I
blow
know.
up this bus, you take out a gaggle of cardinals.
That's right. They should really make them travel on separate pope buses.
Uh-huh. You know, it'd be a fun gag if they just had like three or four buses for the Cardinals, and they're like, all right, there's a couple hundred of you, and each bus holds like 40, so just go ahead. Oh, by the way, bus number 3 has a pedophile detector thing, so just a heads up. I wonder, let's see like the number of people that would just start steering away from that bus,
Right.
and then arrest them immediately.
What I want to know, what do you think is the mood in the conclave, in the chapel, because I imagine it being very serious and a lot of speaking in Latin and a lot of just ceremonial Pope whatnot. But really, when you get a bunch of people together and they have to make a decision, there's usually some laughter.
Well, you have to assume that there are people that are arguing over their guy versus the other guy versus this guy, and then they got to be, Benedict, and then there's got to be like talk
12
where,
Angry Men.
Yeah, I thought you were talking about Benedict the 11th. You're talking about Benedict the 13th. That guy's a douche. That guy's a total douche, dude. I thought I was agreeing because the whole time you're talking about Benedict the 11th.
Don't you know your Roman numerals?
Oh, fucking 13, such a douche. We were at the Cardinal Cafe. And that guy ordered a sandwich, and he had to do like a whole custom thing, like no mayo, but extra.
I hear what you're
Velveeta,
saying, but he's
like
always been wonderful to me.
All
And
right.
I have no complaints.
Well, that's not the Benedict 13th that I know. That guy's a douche. We were playing beach volleyball at the retreat, and he was like, every shot that was coming to me clearly and I called for, he just fucking slide in and elbow me out of the way.
Oh, yeah,
and he wasn't setting anyone up. He was trying to spike it all the time. Now, that guy's a fucking douche. I thought you were talking about the 11th.
Oh, my God. You guys talk about Benedict 13?
Yeah.
Or as he call himself, B13?
B13? Yeah.
B13.
Like he's a fucking bomber.
Seriously.
That guy's a douche.
No one else calls him that, but he keeps calling himself that. Like, trying to get the whole thing going. It's like, no one's buying it.
Sorry, I don't want to interrupt, but let some black smoke go.
Okay.
So they know we're,
they're
we're
probably
still talking.
waiting on it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's what
I
happened.
feel like there's probably like that. It's probably a lot of good material.
Yeah.
And then at a certain point, do they just make a decision to get the fuck out of there? I heard in the 13th century,
yeah,
right? They couldn't decide on a pope for 2.5 years.
Mm-hmm.
And at one point, okay, now I'm confusing what I heard and when
Nobody
this happened.
listening knows, so you can say whatever you want.
Okay, but then also at a certain point, after it took like 8 days or 8 weeks, it really could be anything. They would only allow them to have bread and water to hasten the decision.
Mm-hmm. No more cardinal kibble. You've been cut off.
That's right. I mean, first they feed them the wet food, and then they take that away, and
Then it goes to
strictly
kibble.
cardinal kibble.
Yeah.
And then it's just grubs and bread and water.
Yeah. Anyway, who cares? I don't know what the guy does. I obviously like the good pope versus the bad pope.
What? They have those?
Well,
yeah.
I mean,
there's classic stories about good pope, bad pope.
Well, there's
Just
a couple
they sit on your shoulders.
There's a couple that had the misfortune of, having their reign take place during rounding up of Jews and putting them in ovens and things like that.
yeah.
And them not doing a whole lot of poping.
Classic bad pope.
The Inquisition.
Yeah, there's bad pope. There's some pretty bad pope years, but I don't know that they're like Jimmy Carter bad. I just think they must have just got caught during a bad couple of years.
They're victims
you know what I mean?
of circumstance.
That's right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, guys.
Okay, sure. Do you know anyone personally who cares strongly about this?
No, I just know we talk about it an awful lot. For basically a country of people covered in tattoos and aggressive piercings who have fake nuts hanging from the rear ends of our pickup
nuts.
trucks,
Yeah.
have trucks nuts, and who drink more Mountain Dew per capita than any nation alive. We seem very concerned with this. I think it's a way to sort of make us seem like there's certain things we try to be interested in. Like, what am I thinking about? I'm thinking about this deficit and this whole Pope business. Meanwhile, I'm really just thinking about Mountain Dew and watching TMZ. That's what I'm thinking
Dan, do you care about popes?
No, not at all.
about. No,
care
he's
about
thinking
truck
about
nuts?
catching his own frisbees.
Truck nuts is more my thing.
What made you interested in YouTubers?
I started doing it in 2009. I started doing it, and then I just developed this show by mistake, kind of almost poking fun at YouTubers. It was just a show that people for a minute thought it was real, and it was a character called Duncan Rocks. And we did it for we did it first episode, and then it actually caught on. People were like, make more. So we did, and then eventually people started, like, important people like in the YouTube world started hitting me up and being like, oh, we love the show, we want to do a collaboration. I'm like, I don't know, what does that mean? So eventually I just kind of jumped in and started doing it kind of full-time for about a year, and then kind of stepped off, and I kind of saw the market becoming really oversaturated. And then it said, you know what, I'm friends with all these people. Why not just make a documentary about it? So many people ask me, oh, how did you get started? What's the deal? How do you make money on it? This and that. I'm like, well, you know what? I'm just gonna make a movie and I'm gonna show it to you, and that will be my answer. So next time someone says, hey,
now you never have to have a conversation again.
Exactly.
That's
nice.
right.
Yeah.
Nice. The crazy story out of New York. I don't know if you've been following this cannibal cop. It's Gilberto
I'm too into the
Valle.
deficit and the Pope.
Right.
But go ahead.
So he's a 28-year-old cop who's charged with conspiracy to abduct and murder. He had all these. He didn't actually do anything, but he had all these plans to.
It's never abduct and makeover.
It really never
It's
is.
always abduct and murder with a sprinkling of rape. Yeah, it's never. I'm going to abduct you and give you a makeover and really raise your self-confidence, girl. Yeah.
And yet sometimes that's necessary. Like when you're going to join a cheerleading squad, they do that.
Important, yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, he had all these plans to kidnap women and then sell them to people who wanted to eat them, as one would.
I want a YouTube show where it's called What the Fuck's Up with Your Parenting, and we just bring your kids in and we just explain, hey folks, let's see, I'm sorry, we get a group of people like in the round, and I'm holding 3x5 cards. I've grown a cool mustache and I'm wearing a turtleneck, but I'm wearing a blazer over it too, and then a chain outside of the turtleneck, so I look like I know what I'm doing. And I say, excuse me, I'm sorry, where's the family whose son who was a cop in New York City, 28-year-old, thought it'd be a fantastic idea to abduct women and then sell them to cannibals around the world? Could you stand up? And then I'd walk, and then I'd go, and then the whole audience would go, what the fuck's up with your parenting? And then I'd just go really try to get to the bottom of it. Did he play any T-ball? I'd start at the beginning. You know?
It's actually worse than I just said. So prosecutors argued that he planned to rape, torture, cook, and eat them. I thought that I'd heard he was going to sell them. Maybe he was going to, maybe he was going to get a bunch and then he was going to eat some and sell some.
So you're saying if he'd at least had the entrepreneurial spirit, you could give him a pass. But this was purely
I've watched
just
enough Apprentice
killing
to know.
for pleasure.
But here's the thing. He didn't actually do any of this. And there was a document found on his wife, and let's just step back and appreciate the fact that someone signed on to live her life with this gem. But there was a document found on his wife's laptop which was titled Abducting and Cooking Kimberly, a blueprint. He's saying this is all just fantasy and role play and just thoughts, and he communicated with other people online who also were into this. One in England, I believe, said that he had actually tasted a woman alive, which was good, kind of bloody. But,
that time of the month. Let me
That's
say,
not how he meant it.
That's how I took it. Let me say this. He may not do any like real time or.
Well, the thing is that the jury convicted him, and everyone was shocked because he didn't actually do anything. However, he had been charged, so he did enough. I mean, they had enough
So
evidence.
what they convict him? What they give him? Because
a judge will sentence him. He faces life.
Okay, he's not going to get life because there's no body, and the way our system is set up is like we found the duct tape and the ether rag and the zip ties and the hatchet and the crowbar you were going to use to pry into the house, and then the ransom notice and all that kind of stuff. But we busted you on the way to go abduct the person, so we can't charge you with abducting a person, which really, for me, means yes, we can, because that's what you were going to do. And this is nothing but good police work. Like, I like policing that stops crimes before the crimes actually happen.
Minority Report.
Yes, but then go ahead and charge them with said crime and then tack on another 10 years for being an idiot because you got busted before you even committed a crime.
But do you think a document called Abducting and Cooking Kimberly, a blueprint, you think that's what that is? Like, to me, that's so over the... Well, I don't know
agree
how
with
a cannibal
you.
thinks, but to me that would suggest literature. Well,
I think this
fantasy.
is so over the top that his lawyer will go, please.
That is what his lawyer is saying, essentially. Like, come on, yes, this is disturbing, but it's fantasy and it's role play. And
yeah. Well, maybe it is. I mean, are there bodies? I mean...
No,
okay.
there aren't, but obviously there's enough for them to. I don't know what is in required to charge someone with conspiracy, because conspiracy obviously is something that you can charge someone with before the crime is committed. So
Right.
there was something there enough. He had illegally accessed a federal law enforcement database to get information on the women. I mean, this is more the reason that they think that there was something actually going on, is that he had compiled a lot of information about the women, but then he had shared some of the information online with his cannibal buddies, but it was false information. So who knows?
It's cannibal buddies.
Is it kind of like To Catch a Predator, where it's like they don't actually commit the crime, but they show up and they like are there? They still prosecute them, correct?
Yeah, they have all the corresponding emails and all that kind of stuff, and it's always the excuses the guys make are always great, because they drove from Fresno to Sacramento, number one, like guys, and I'm sure. I know full well that at some point the guy's wife asked him earlier in the week, "Could you pick up our daughter from grade school?" And he's like, "That's 8 miles away." They always drive. They'll drive when there's pussy at the end of that fucking stick. Guys will do anything, so they'll drive. So they always drive like 350 miles, and then when they bust them, they're long haul truckers who are in their 40s. Who showed up to a 14-year-old's house, and they're like, no, sex? No, I thought we'd have a couple beers, maybe shoot some pool, just get to know each other. Like, you're driving 350 miles, shoot some pool with a 14-year-old? Like, first off, you're more dangerous than the person that wants to fuck them. At least I understand the person that wants to fuck them. You who wants to just shoot pool with them and have a couple of cold ones out in the pickup truck with them, much more fucked up. Secondly, you made the mistake of faxing over a picture of your junk. And as I've said...
Faxing.
This is an older episode. I'm going to give... I will give tips to... I'll give tips to the perp, and I'll give tips to... I'll give 2 tips to the perps. And you know why I'm giving you tips? Because I'm trying to avoid this from happening to you, because
so
I want you to
nice.
stay home.
This is for you.
This is
Not
for
for
you.
us.
It's not for us. It's for you. Number one, as you know, I send over a plain Domino's small cheese pizza, and then just wait outside the door. If you see Chris Hansen, accept it. Just keep driving. So pull up in front of the address, park across the street. Look, if you don't see the Fresno Popo, they're going to be hiding in there, and just call Domino's, send over a pizza, and see how it's received. See if the chick answers. That's my first
Smart.
move. I mean, not my move, but you know what I'm saying. And number 2, if you then take a picture of your balls, your 43-year-old hairy balls, and send it to the 14-year-old, and she writes you back, "You're making me horny," that's a cop. That's a cop. There's no fucking 14-year-old alive that's looking at long-haul trucker balls.
Actually,
saying, "You're making
that
me
should
horny."
be the first test, and
Yeah.
then the pizza.
Yeah. Good. Yeah, that's right. Or put the balls on the No, stupid. You're right. Let's do it that way.
You got too
Yeah,
excited.
went too far.
Went
Too far.
No, I have a question, and there's a nuance to the question, but it's not going to sound like it.
Mm-hmm.
You said that when there's pussy involved, guys will drive like 350 miles.
Yes.
Is it? And I was thinking about how it is crazy when someone all of a sudden is infatuated. It just releases all this energy in you, and suddenly you'll do like insane things that take a lot of time, etc. Is it just the idea of being able to have sex, or is it the fantasy of finding a soulmate or something in between?
Yeah, I don't think it's a soulmate, but I think it's the endorphins and
Stop laughing at me, everyone with a fucking penis in this place.
the soulmate. But no, it's
whole mate.
it's the devious.
Well, I don't mean.
sort of-
I mean something more than just the sexual
Yeah.
experience.
Well,
I'm
I don't,
asking.
I don't know that you can separate it, because it's all been put in the worst Cuisinart ever built. Like it's like they always say, for the people that are really into little boys or little girls or whatever, they're really into it. I think they're much more into it than we'll ever be into heterosexual sex.
They would have to be to go through what they go
as much
through,
as
right?
we may appreciate heterosexual consensual sex, their stuff runs a lot deeper than ours. This is a full-time gig. I mean, it's no hobby. This is what they do. So
passion.
Yeah, and there's probably it's their passion. It's their calling. Yeah, they were arrested doing what they loved. Yes. So I think it just runs insanely deep. And that's why when you put these people in prison for 12 years and you let them out and expect them just to kind of go, hey, start going out with women that are age appropriate, would you please?
Will do, boss.
But imagine if we lived in a society where you were expected to have sex with children, but you were drawn to women who were approximately your age. Mm-hmm. Would you pursue that with some crazy criminal in a crazy criminal fashion?
Well, we send a weird message, which is, George Clooney is 50, maybe he's 51. If George Clooney was dating a 52-year-old, everyone would be like, what the fuck? What's he doing? Like, what's going on? He's going out with someone who's his own age, was born the same decade or year he was born. That's insane. So there's kind of weird message number one. So then he dips down to 23-year-old cocktail waitress, and everyone's like, fucking guys, what a life he's living. Oh, my God, he's got the best life ever. Well, if you're then a 40-year-old guy and you dip down another 5-6 years, now you're full-blown creep. So it's a weird message of like, oh, no, go down. Oh, stop.
Sweet spot.
Stop. Yeah.
Hot. Cold.
Right.
Yeah.
That's where it is. So
Well, maybe he's looking for a soulmate.
that's good stuff, Allison. All right.
But
more
when
news.
you
Yes.
fantasize, don't you think it is more... It's that idea of here's someone who will truly understand me. We've all seen Catfish, and they use the term soulmate.
Well, here's how you know all those guys are full of shit, because like I said, it's always the same thing. She understands me. She sees through me. We connect on a different level. She knows what I'm thinking. Oh, fuck, she's fat?
Yeah.
Fuck that. I'm out of here. So what happened to all the soulmate talk? It's the soulmate that turned Brian into what?
A whole mate.
Are you saying hoe-mate?
He's trying to say whole mate.
It's a whole mate.
Yeah.
Oh.
Made
Sounds
for your
Canadian.
It's made for your hole. Eh?
That sounded like a hall. But I
Yeah, it sounded like
understand.
hall-mate.
I'm with you.
Okay. So the women who were accidentally shot by the LAPD 80 times or something when they were trying to get Dorner, the two women who were in the truck, 71-year-old Emma Hernandez and her daughter, who had been delivering newspapers. 8 police officers opened fire on them. They were going to receive a free truck.
All right. First off, I don't know how many. I don't know how many times I have to say this about the LAPD. They like shooting people. This whole driving while black thing. I mean, honestly, if this was 2 black dudes in the truck or 1 black dude in the truck, but 2 black women in the truck, and the cops just opened up behind them, this fucking town would be on fire right now, and Al Sharpton, Jesse Jackson would be flying in and raising hell. And I've said it a million times, LAPD are assholes. They're assholes to everyone. When you're black, you think, oh, he's being an asshole to me because I'm black, which they probably ratcheted up. Don't get me wrong. But they are assholes, and they will shoot anyone who doesn't cooperate, and they'll do this. Is insane to me.
The truck was plugged with more than 100 bullets. How did they not kill them? 8 cops shot 100 bullets into the truck and still didn't kill them, which I'm glad they didn't, but how good are they at their jobs?
I don't even know where to begin being pissed if I'm the police chief, because it's like, you couldn't kill 2 elderly Hispanic women by unloading 100 rounds into their back? And, they're in a truck. That's just sheet metal. Those 9mm bullets just speed up when they pass through that sheet metal. There's nothing. There's no engine block or anything there. It's just all fucking sheet metal. And when you're sitting in that truck, there's got to be 80 holes just where your head is in the back glass there. They were shooting 2 women in the back of the head. And guess who pays for this? Not the fucking cops. We pay for it.
Well, they were going to receive a new truck, but now they have turned it down after being told they'd need to pose for a photo and pay income tax on it.
Well,
and the truck was valued at $32,560.
Let me say something. I would never part with that truck. I would drive that truck for the rest of my life, and I'd never leave L.A. And, look, they shot up the back window. I'd replace the back window, but I'd leave all the holes in the tailgate. And, listen, change the oil, whatever it takes. I'd drive that around. And then every time I got pulled over, I'd be like, oh, interesting. I rolled through a 4-way stop sign.
Yes.
Your brother's pumped 100 fucking rounds in a Tacoma. Do you understand? Do you understand? Go look at the tailgate and then come back and tell me you have the fucking guts to write me a fucking ticket. And I would never stop speeding in that truck.
Ooh, you should see if you can get that truck.
I would get that truck like Bonnie and Clyde's car. Yeah. And I would drive through every stop sign, and I'd speed, and I'd go, really, you're going to give me a ticket? This is going to be great tomorrow when it hits the newspapers.
That's brilliant.
This is going to be excellent. This is so fucking funny.
But can you believe that? According to their lawyer, LAPD and Galpin Ford wanted them to pose for a photo, which I don't know if it's that or if it's the having to pay tax on it or not being allowed to sell it or whatever that or their lawyer that made them decide not to take it. But the photo thing, I'd be like, fuck you.
Well, first off, I don't know how much these women, I don't know how many, they deliver newspapers for a living at 5:30.
Yeah.
So 2 things. One is they need to go on a speaking tour. They need to come by my house and talk to my wife, Lynette.
About getting up early?
Guess what we do in the morning? We drive around at 5 a.m. and get shot at. Okay? So
is that supposed to be motivational?
Just go ahead and
perspective.
Yeah, make your man a Denver omelet every once in a while and say just because. Just because. Number 1. Number 2, they're going to get millions of dollars. They'll be able to buy a fleet of pickup trucks by the time. I mean, we're not done. It's not like the lawyer's like, all right, Los Angeles, we need a low mileage Tacoma that's either in white or gray or brown. And again, it can't have a cloth interior. It has to be trimmed in leather. And anyway, you go to eBay or Auto Trader, something like that, and then we'll be square. They're not going to be square, right? They got a lawyer. They're going to get millions, millions of dollars for this. And this ain't slipping and falling at a supermarket or spilling coffee on your crotch on a speed bump at McDonald's. This is 100 rounds being pumped into your fucking pickup truck. And the description of the human being could not be further away. A, there's one of him. B, it's a him.
Yeah.
C, he's black. D, he's huge.
And it wasn't the same kind of car.
But other than that,
no wonder.
Stellar work.
Yeah.
All right.
The Denver omelet, just because, made me think of something that I've been wondering, which is, what is a good thing to do for a guy as a way of saying, I love you, and a tiny bit, I'm sorry, I've kind of been a cunt lately. Besides that.
Oh, really?
Well, I was thinking that I love if he ever brings me flowers just for no reason. So what's the female equivalent of that?
I would say, we'll get rid of the flowers. I would say something to do with food.
Yeah, I was going to say 6-pack. Like I picked up 6-pack of your favorite beer.
Yeah, that's not bad. But now
that feels kind of...
Trader Joe's has kind of fucked that up. It's made it like too easy.
You see, to me that feels too slight, but maybe that's a good thing.
That's right. It's a $7 gift, I guess.
Hey, does he have a meal that his mom or his grandma made that you can try to replicate?
It's the same one that, you always want.
Yeah, make some lasagna.
I'll report back on that.
Yeah, I know. Well, there's the point. It's not going to be something you want to do, which is the problem. Like I like when people go, how do I make this up to you? And you go, well, here's what you can do. And I go,
I like that beer thing.
I don't like that one. I like ones that are cheaper and easier
it's just that
and involve less
I've never
effort.
made I would actually, I've been working up to it in my mind.
He is going to appreciate you attempting to make him lasagna.
It seems like a lot of work.
It is very layered.
Plus, Allison has a rich history with lasagna.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that.
When she closes her eyes, she gets raped by a guy in lasagna.
Their dream.
I had a nightmare that I was raped in a pan of lasagna.
A big hairy man
when I was 13.
in a big greasy pan of lasagna. In her dream, she will try to scream, hey, get off of me, you fat, sweaty fella.
He was swarthy.
Makes sense.
And he'll say, I will have my way, and what I just sprayed, that was not mozzarella. In her dreams, she gets screwed in Garfield's favorite food, it's lasagna. Violated in cheese, pasta, red sauce, and meat, it's a crime. She's just helpless asleep while he's going balls deep in vagina. Too bad she could not flee, raped by Chef Boyardee in lasagna.
Oh, some of Rich Banks and Mike Lynch's best work. Shall we continue to one more news story? What do you got
Personal
there?
news story. I haven't worn this sweater in a while, and I just looked down and found 3 holes in the sleeve, and now I'm thinking, I wonder if they're moth holes. And there's something disgusting about the idea of insects eating your clothes.
Yes, I have the moth hole sweaters as well, and you can still wear them as long as you wear an undershirt that's the same color as the sweater that was eating a hole in. But if you wear a white undershirt on a black mothy, whatever, it's bad times. And it's the biggest fuck you an insect can ever really give to you, because they ruin an entire garment by literally, it's like destroying 1,000 acres by just taking a shit in one small patch of land.
If only our shit was that potent.
Yes.
What are they attracted to? What are they?
They like
Good
wool.
fashion.
Wool?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a keen eye for fashion. Yes. Yeah, but they like wool. I don't know what the fuck moths are doing eating wool. Someone's got to tell them. Get your shit together.
Yeah, because really, in the wild, as opposed to in the closet, when are they around sheep?
Yeah, I don't know what they eat in the wild, but they need to. Or you just need to keep like a dummy sheep in your closet and then attract all the moths to the dummy sheep.
Yeah, like a scarecrow sheep.
Mm-hmm. I'm getting a note for a service sheep from Dr. Drew anyway.
Smart.
So I'm going to start traveling with Betsy. Betsy, as I call her. But anyway, I just probably said too much. I'm going to wait till
Is
the
Betsy
paperwork
going to
comes
get along
through.
with Gilligan, your service pelican?
Ooh, yeah, my Pelican Gilligan. That I'm just really doing to annoy other people with their little dogs, because he's going to eat one of them at some point. I just want, and I want that move. Pelicans, they are the only bird that threatens to fly without flying more than any other bird. They do it like, hey, look at me. Hey, I'm thinking about flying. I got a notion about flying. You know what? No, I'm cool. Like when crows fly, they just fly. They just take off as they do.
This time I mean it.
Blue jays, every other bird, finch, they'll just fucking take off. But the fucking pelicans do a hey, everybody,
Yeah.
over here.
Just reminding
look at
you,
me.
wingspan.
Yeah, they're like a dude who's well
They're
built.
flexing.
Yeah, when a dude's got a good build and he's at the ball game, he takes his shirt off, he does that yawn, but it's a Mr. Olympia yawn, you know, like
The Hulkamania yawn.
See the veins coming out of his triceps. Yeah, they do more pretend flying than any bird.
Yeah.
I don't even know if I bet they do more fake flying than they do actual flying. I bet they don't fool their friends. Like when they go, like the pelican goes like, hey, here I go. Hey, all right. Have fun, Gilligan. Yeah, have fun on your journey, your fake journey.
Yeah, little pelican air
Yeah,
quotes.
you're going nowhere. Yeah, they just showed a pelican doing it.
Well,
I may take off. You never know.
Weren't we doing the news?
Oh, yeah.
speaking of animals, Cat Haven. which
Maybe
is
they're doing a version. Hold on. You know that thing you do with your tennis ball and your dog where you do the pump fake? You know, when you're at the park, and you're
Yeah.
like, hey, go. And then the dog takes off and comes back, makes you feel super smart, like smarter than an animal that has an acorn-sized brain. It's going to live for another 3 years and die.
Oh, shit.
Hip dysplasia.
Are we the dogs in this scenario? Are we the ones being fooled?
Yeah, I think the pelicans are like, watch me fuck with these humans. They're going to think I'm going to take off, and I'm not going anywhere. Hanging out. I'm on this pylon for good, man. And as a pelican, once you find a good pier pylon, you got to be, that's like a choice parking space in Manhattan. Like, you got to hang on to that.
I wonder if they have to learn how to do that, and if at the beginning they accidentally get some air. Because it must take a special skill to fly without lifting off the pylon.
Yeah. No, they work on it during the off season, I'm guessing. And then, speaking of pylons, if you ever go down to where you go down to the slip there where they keep the boats, they have the cone heads, the dunce caps they put on the pylons so that the pelicans don't sit on those things.
Yeah.
But as a pelican, you have to be like wildly insulted by saying, "Oh, thanks for the fucking freeway cone on top of it." Okay, so
Right.
I guess I'll be shitting on your boat. Then that would
You're
be
gonna want
my
revenge,
that'd
yeah.
be my pelican. That would be my pelican policy. Like, oh, okay. You know what? I was going to sit on the pylon and pretend like I was going to take off and shit into the water, but you put the fucking cone on there, so I guess I'll just go have to shit on your mainsail.
I wonder if there's any
I'm
kind
going
of,
Rorschach on your mainsail, bitch.
I wonder if there's any OCD pelicans that have a total meltdown at that point.
It's got to be weird when that's your pylon,
Yeah.
and it's been your pylon for a number of years, and then at some point they hire the guy to put the cones.
Yeah, I mean, they can't all be so centered that they'll just go shit on your boat. There's got to
No,
be
they
one
gotta be like,
pelican that's
"Fuck, what?"
I don't know.
And they got to try. They got to try to thread the needle by landing on top of that horrible clan head they put,
That gets messy.
Yeah, that gets messy. All right, anyway.
So, well, speaking of animals and messy, a worker at a Fresno a private zoo in Fresno that had lions was mauled to death. This happened last week. But now the Animal Haven has reopened.
I always feel bad for the parents because it's always like everyone's upset, but they're upset like they didn't have to shoot the cat, They didn't have to shoot Simba. And like, I got a daughter who I'm burying tomorrow. Yeah, that's cool. But they didn't have to shoot Simba, It's like,
I actually feel...
my daughter's lifeless body was in its mouth and she was shaking. Yeah, I'm saying that I'm outraged.
I feel guilty that I feel a tiny bit sad that they shot Couscous.
I mean, Couscous.
That's the lion. They did shoot Couscous because they couldn't get the lion off of her lifeless body already dead. But I guess they have to do that. But here's the thing that's weird, and I'm sure that it's not weird to them, but they're all about animals, but then they'll shoot them in 1 second.
Well,
they're more...
I don't know if the cops... I think the cops may have shot him. I don't know who shot
Oh,
Couscous.
yeah, it was a sheriff's deputy.
Number one. But number two, once you've killed a young person... your work on this planet is done. Like, I know that you're just doing what you do.
Oh, do you think the lion died doing what it loves?
Eating interns? Yeah, I'd say.
Okay.
But you can't, you're going to have a bad life from this point on because you have a rich history of eating people. So there's not going to be a lot
once you taste intern.
Yeah, you get a taste for intern. No, I mean, there's not going to be a lot of quality time with you and the owner and a tennis ball because you already ate somebody, so you're going to be in kind of quarantine.
Yeah, you're right.
They'll put you in the lion hole.
They'll always be afraid of you.
Yeah, and you always be treated a little bit differently, although be
respected.
Pause up from all the other lines.
Right.
Like, hey, nice. What was that like? But I do feel bad, like, again, when the public outrage is over the shooting of this thing and no one gives a shit about the 23-year-old chick who's dead or whoever she is.
The weird thing is that her father, who was interviewed, seemed... Now, maybe he was just in shock, but he seemed strangely resigned. I think because she had this love for big cats and wanted to work with them, and I think her family... It's almost as if they knew this was possibly something that was going to happen.
But also... people react in wildly different ways to the same stimuli. We're too used to movies. Like, there's some dads who can't summon it up for, whether it's winning the Heisman Trophy or burying your daughter. Like, they're the same dude. Like, there are dudes out there with just no personality, and a lot of them are cops, but they just do that sort of like, that monotone drone.
Stoic.
Yeah, and we think they're supposed to be more this or more that, but that's kind of for us. We're grafting that onto them. Mm-hmm. He's dealing with this, has dealt with it, made his peace with it or whatever, but he's doing he's not going to be like a heavy-set woman of color screaming, "Take me," and throwing himself into the lion's mouth, although that would be good. All right, let's bring it home, baby girl.
That's the news. I'm Allison Rosen. Zip it, cunts. Oh, I've got some itches in my hot cooch.
That was the news with Allison Rosen.
Let me ask you an honest question, people. Do you owe the IRS over $20,000 in back taxes? My buddy Ray owed them hundreds of thousands of dollars in back taxes. It's funny because he has no money. Yeah. Well, unfiled returns, getting audited, getting into trouble, problems, people. Let me tell you something right now. If everyone in the IRS died tomorrow, there'd be a new person to take their place. They're like a lizard's tail. They just break off and grow a new one. You can't stop these people. They're brutal. They're like a starfish's lizard's tail. Like my grandpa used to say, son, the IRS is like a starfish's lizard tail in a mouth of a line that we're going to have to shoot. They should have got those LAPD guys and said, hey, there's a couple of Mexican ladies up there sitting in a pickup truck trying to deliver newspapers. What? Let's go.
500 shots missed.
Let's bring the heat. Yeah. Tax Resolution Services. They can help deal with the IRS on your behalf. They've been helping people with their financial lives for over 15 years. Let's not live in fear. Let them help you. Garnished wages, whatever it is. They can help you. They're the pros, but you need a pro. Call Tax Resolution Services today. 800-905-0169. That's 800-905-0169. Or you can click through the Tax Resolution banner on AdamCarolla.com. All right. Dan, Dobi.
Hey.
Hey. You buzzed off your mangria?
No, I'm not a light. No. It's
You're not a
delicious,
lightweight.
though.
Wait
no,
till you
not at
stand
all.
up.
Yeah?
You'll feel it.
Oh,
Go ahead and
alright.
stand up
Stand up
now.
right now?
So see how you feel.
This headset.
Yeah. How you feeling?
I'm good.
You're good.
I'm good, yeah.
All right.
I
But
love
you
it.
feel a little warmth.
Okay, yeah,
Little
there's some
warm
warmth.
fingers
Yeah,
in
for
you.
sure. A
I
little
like
bit.
that. That's me. David Wild, by the way, Wild About Music, and of course Dan's wonderful documentary. Please subscribe. It is a documentary about the YouTubers, and it's coming out on digital release March 23rd, everybody. Also, go to the website. You can pre-order it at chill.com/please subscribe, and the website, chill.com/please subscribe. And Dan Dobi on the Twitter. So, till next time, it's Adam Carolla. For David Wild, Dan Dobi, Allison Rosen, and Bald Brian saying mahalo. Hey, your asshole smells a little off, boss. Hey, kiddies, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and catch any podcasts you might have missed at youtube.com/Adam Carolla. That's youtube.com/me.